Hello and welcome back everyone to my weekend update on the financial markets. My name is Jens and I will cover today with you the price action of S&P 500, US oil, gold and Bitcoin so that you know what to do in the markets. The overall goal of this account, of this channel, is to see if we are able to beat the market with less volatility and make steady profits trading price action. Stay tuned and let's start with the weekly time frame on the S&P 500 index. Yeah, on the weekly we can see that we are still in uptrend, making new impulses to the upside and corrections to the downside. We had this secondary weekly uptrend line that got broken to the downside, and so the fear was of a double top scenario and that we will correct all the way back down to this weekly uptrend line in combination with the weekly support zone. That isn't the case because we now have made a new all-time high, so I officially can technical move this secondary uptrend line down to the last low here, and so I'm really bullish on the market that will continue the overall uptrend, and I'm also positioned like that with an actual long position with 2.5% in profit on the account balance. Let's switch to the daily time frame to see price action in more detail and why and how I entered this trade. We had this daily downtrend line that got broken with an ABC pattern to the upside. Then we had the fear of this double top scenario, and after the correction to this daily downtrend line that got broken, I said if we break it at the 4-hour time frame, here's the blue dotted 4-hour downtrend line that got broken to the upside, and I said if I see a setback, we got this one, and then a break of this correction again to the upside, that would be the point where I will enter the trade, and I did it. Yeah, since then the market is rising, and I said if we see price close below this low, that will be also an ABC pattern, and that we will probably see prices continue. Let's switch to the daily again, continue all the way back down, maybe to this daily support zone in combination with the 200 moving average, but in the worst case all the way back down to this weekly uptrend line in combination with the weekly support zone. Yeah, the all-time high is in now, so I think the likelihood of that is really small, so I stay bullish. And I moved also because we left this resistance zone in form of the last all-time high behind us, and now I moved my stop loss that was $2,000 at that point all the way back to my entry level. So if the trade is going against me, I will not lose money except the fees I paid for the trade. Yeah, where's the target? The target is up here, shortly before we reach the 6,000 points mark in the index, because I think it's a psychological area where maybe many people close their trades, and I will close it a little bit earlier because I don't want to miss the top there and the market turns and I'm still in the trade. Yeah, that would be a nice profit of roughly 6% on my account balance with $6,000. And yeah, I stay in this trade. I think if you have open positions, you should think about that too, because a new all-time high is nothing to fear. And yeah, that's it for S&P 500. Let's switch to US oil. US oil at the weekly time frame, we can see we had a monthly solid red downtrend line here that got broken to the upside. Since then, I'm a little bit more bullish for oil, and we have also this monthly support and resistance zone here where price bounced a lot of times, so it's an important area. After the break of this monthly downtrend line, we moved into this weekly correction here, marked by this orange solid downtrend line. That one got broken to the upside, so on the long term, I'm bullish for US oil, but on the short term, we had a change because the 200 moving average was supporting price every time, and that changed at this point, and also we crossed the shorter moving average, crossed from the upside to the downside, the long-term moving average, and that's a bearish sign. And we also got below this monthly support and resistance zone, which is also a bearish sign. So I traded it also that way. If we switch here to the daily time frame, we had this correction here, and I shorted that one and closed it around this area. I don't know yet anymore. You have to look in the history. Maybe I find it here. Here, closing short position US oil with 2.5% in profit on the account. That was pretty nice, and it declined a little bit further, and then got rejected again to the upside. I think we are retesting. We see better at the 4-hour time frame. We are retesting an important key area where price got rejected a lot of times, and we also nearing this daily downtrend line in combination with the 200 moving average at 4-hour. and that could be a key level where price got rejected one more time to the downside to retest this weekly support zone here again. Yeah, now is the question, can we trade that one? Let's have a look on that. We have here a 4-hour blue dotted uptrend line. This could well be the high, and we have seen here a series of higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. Still a higher low, but if we see the price turn here and make a lower low, that would be a confirmation that we will have seen this overall uptrend turn directions. And here I would be interested in taking a short trade to the downside again on US oil. Could look like the following. We set our entry below this area here and stop loss. The conservative one would be above this point here, the high of the movement. And the take profit would be around the lows of the last movement. It probably will go even further, but I would like to be more conservative here. But that risk-reward ratio wouldn't be that great. I at least want a 1.5 risk-reward ratio before entering a trade. So you could think about reducing the stop loss level above this point here where price turned and made a new lower low. That would give us a better risk-reward ratio. So you can think about that. Another scenario is, because of that I wouldn't risk too much, maybe 0.5% of the account balance on this trade, is that I would like to see again price the upward movement retesting this 200 moving average in combination with the daily downtrend line, and then a change of trend to the downside again. That would be my favorite scenario. You have to react accordingly what price is giving you. You have to decide it by yourself. I'm not sure yet. I will decide the upcoming days of next week and inform you in my next weekly update what I have done. Yeah, that's it for US oil. Maybe the bullish scenario I just talked about, shorting the market here. If we see a break of this daily downtrend line and a retest, and a break of the retest to the upside, that would be bullish price action, and you should think about getting a long position in the opposite direction here, maybe something like this, and then higher targets. But I think it's the more unlikely scenario, but we will see. Okay, that's it. Now really for US oil, let's go to gold. Gold at a weekly time frame still very, very bullish. We have been able to break this off and tested resistance zone to the upside, and since then gold behaves like a rocket just to the upside with some pauses in between. I think we are about to see the next pause pretty soon, and I will explain you why I think so. First, the cycles on the weekly time frame. This one was the first impulse that got above this weekly resistance zone, and so it's the first impulse, first correction, second weekly impulse, second correction, third weekly impulse to the upside. After the third weekly impulse, normally if that one ends, I don't know if it's here or further above, you expect a huger decline, and that would be a good opportunity to get again long into the market. Shorting this movement, it's a little bit risky because it's a really strong market at the moment, and shorting strong markets, it's most of the times too risky, and you have to be careful with that. Let's drop to the daily time frame to see it in more detail. Here you have the major weekly impulses, like I said, at the weekly time frame, and now I want to look inside the third weekly impulse so far, because a weekly impulse is normally built out of 3 daily impulses. So we had the first daily impulse, the first daily correction, second impulse, second correction, and now we are also in the third daily impulse to the upside. That end of that one would mark also the end of the weekly impulse to the upside, and would mean that we will see after that a decline. I don't know yet if point E is here or further above. We will see. Yeah, if you're in a long trade, you can see it on the 4-hour time frame. That would have been my target. So price just touched my take profit target. I would have been taken if I would have entered the trade, like I said in my weekend update report here, after a break of this consolidation zone to the upside. I was waiting for a setback and the break. I wanted to trade the break of the setback to the upside. Price never gave me that scenario, so maybe you are in. I am not, sadly, but maybe I will get an opportunity if we see this third impulse to the upside end, and maybe correct down back again to this upper side of the consolidation zone in combination with this secondary daily uptrend line. That would be pretty nice if I could enter here again a long trade. We'll see if gold develops that way. Otherwise, yeah, stay bullish. If you're long-term invested, stay long-term invested, or make at least research by yourself. I think to be invested in gold or gold miners, etc. is not the worst idea in these times. Yeah, that's it for gold. I would say let's switch to Bitcoin. Bitcoin at the weekly time frame, we can see that we have been able to make a new all-time high in comparison to the all-time high from November 2021. But since then, we are in a declining phase. We had an impulse, a correction, an impulse, and now a large correction. And I think this one at 49,000 US dollar was the low of the movement. So my next expectancy would be that we will see again higher highs, but the downtrend is still valid. So yeah, let's see. It's a little bit predictive at the moment. On the weekly, it looks like the MACD could cross the next weeks to the upside. That would be again a bullish sign, and maybe we will leave then this all downtrend behind us and start again with new impulses to the upside. Let's drop down to the daily to see it in more detail, because here we have a beautiful daily downtrend price channel. Sorry for that, guys and girls. English is not my main language, like you probably already noticed, but I'm giving my best for you here. And yeah, I was confident that this low of this price channel is something that is tradable, because I have recognized this daily downtrend here that got broken to the upside. After that, I switched at the 4-hour time frame for a closer look, and here we had this correction after the breakout, and I wanted to get into a position on the long side if we see price get above this correction, and I did. So I entered the trade with a stop loss below the low of the movement. Yeah, where's the high? The high is, let's switch again back to the daily time frame, because I don't know if we will leave this price channel directly to the upside. The take profit is slightly below the upper band of the price channel, and yeah, there I would take profit with 3% in profit if the trade develops like expected. I already moved my stop loss from the low of the movement back to my entry point. Maybe it's a little bit too early, because the protective zone is here, this point. If price falls below this correction here, below this low, then we will probably see a turn in the market and retest again this lows, and that would take me also out of my position, that I would not lose money except the fees. And yeah, I could move my stop loss slightly below here to be sure, but if that would be the case, I would lose 500 bucks, and I'm not feeling like I want to lose something on this trade after this nice push to the upside here. You can decide it like you want to. If you be more conservative and don't want to lose money, because rule number 1, don't lose money, then you can move the stop loss like I did. And if you want the trade to enough room to breathe a little bit, then put it below this low here. The take profit, like I said, at the upper side of this price channel. And yeah, because I'm a long-term investor also in Bitcoin, I would hope for a breakout of this price channel, and then from there new all-time highs. That scenario also would be a pretty nice trading opportunity, because a retest of this price channel after the breakout would be nice for taking a long position and continue riding prices higher. But we will see. I think that will take a couple of weeks, and I will update you in between. Yeah, I stay in this trade. I adjusted my stop loss. Like I said, if we lose this low here to the downside, that would mean that we at least retest these lows again. And if we got to my take profit zone, we could bounce here and move again back lower, or directly break it to the upside. We will see. That's it on this weekend update. I think everything is going well with every position in profit. I don't know if it stays that way, but yeah, nothing to complain about at the moment. And I think you're well positioned if you're trading these price actions. I wish you a good start in the week, and we're here and see us next time. Bye bye.